What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your man DA back once again, still just trying to be a contest legend, and we are here in another Alliance War video. This one, WAG2B, is taking on the CW, not the TV channel, but the Civil War Alliance here in the game. I haven't been posting many wars recently, mainly because, well, you'll see why. I just, if I'm real, right? If I'm being real, I say it all the time on the channel, I'm not the greatest player, but you kind of see it in this video, like, for sure. So this first note up, I brought the Trinidad, not the Trinidad, the Triad with me, the Holy Triumvirate, for Blade, Sparky, and Ghost Rider in this first mutant node, and it turns out to be a Nightcrawler. Now, one of the most difficult things for me to do in the game is to focus and have a conversation with somebody else outside. So during this fight, I'm having a conversation with my family. And you'll see sometimes where I do just some weird things, like right there, just do an attack, and then I just stood back and blocked. I don't remember if I was trying to get him to change his stance or not, using the, one hit, the one light technique. But, this fight was just very weird. It was very difficult for me to focus on it, but I should have done a lot better. There comes a point in the fight where I guess you'll be able to tell that my focus was back completely on the fight. And I think it's about now. I start landing a couple parries, getting a couple combos. I'm expecting his evades, because I still haven't gotten the switch yet. Right there, he just launched his special from halfway across the map and connected. I still want to get him to switch his stance, but things don't work out that way. Anyway, I could point out the times where I was trying to evade, it didn't evade, and things like that. I guess that it has been an issue recently in the community with that, and I think you'll see it even more so here, because whenever I take Sparky in, one of the first things I try to do is build up more poise charges. So you're going to see an evade, and right there I only got one off as he was in the middle of the attack. And even there, just one evade he did naturally. And at that time, I know that Nightcrawler usually attacks multiple times, but it didn't work. So my phone ended up on the floor. My son looked at me and said, "Dad, why did you throw your phone on the floor?" So I just told my alliance mates, I was like, you know what, y'all take the lead for the rest of this path. I'm gonna cool out because I was hot. Took Blade in, finished Nightcrawler off, and yeah, this is how it ended up. So later on this war, and up on the upper path on the left, Blade's on 24%. We're up against Hyperion, with power gain, armor up, and fury. And the key to Hyperion, as you know, is just to bait out his specials. He's very, very aggressive with his specials. Not only that, I wanted to take this fight to build up a bit more health, just to kind of save me on potions. Although the Halls of Healing is going on, and it helped me tremendously throughout this war and the one right after this. I don't want to use potions, but if I have to, I will. And yeah, so as much health as I can heal up, that's what I want to do with Blade. So I think in this fight I do end up getting back up to about 50% health. That might be wrong. It actually might be the next fight, but fact of the matter is, I'm still baiting out specials. I'm not really, doing a whole lot of damage at one time. Because like I said, I do want to build health up, but I launched a special one. I think the bleed damage ticks him down. And yeah, finished the fight off with about 39% health after starting around 20. Not the best increase, but, it saved me a potion or two. So the next node up is an unknown, of course. Science Champion, 5-star. Now, of course, I'm thinking somebody like, actually, I don't know who I was thinking. The Special 1 bias, Enhanced Special 1, who knows what it could be? I don't. So, I guess we'll find out together. And it is a Miles Morales. And Miles, he's a pretty easy fight. He can be very frustrating at times. And this was the fight I think I got back up to 50%. And that's mainly because, Miles Morales is very slippery. So I don't do too much attacking in. I mean, this is like fighting any Spider-Man for the most part, especially while he has his evade charges, and I don't rush in too much. So I am able to regen a little bit of health by staying back and just being a little bit more defensive than normal. Then with a special 1 bias, I have to be very, very aware of that, but I do take him out rather quickly because Blade makes life easy for Marvel Contest of Champions players like myself. So this next node up is, I think, the first time I fought this champion on this node, and this node is the Bane. What else? I forget what other special nodes are on here. But it's Bane and True Strike. So, Sparky wouldn't really be good here simply because, of the True Strike. So I'm not going to bother reviving him, taking Blade in. Maybe it's a villain mystic, but it ends up being a Morto. Now, this is the first time I fought Morto on this node, and considering that fact, I think this fight went pretty okay. Now, granted, I did get punched in the face right there to start the fight off, but I do gather my bearings for the moment. And right now, what I'm trying to figure out is how am I going to play Morto with his power gain and the Bane node. Now, when I've played Bane in the past, I usually tell myself, not to worry about the Bane, but focus more on, just timing, getting the timing down on my combos. And right here, that one combo, I went in just a split second too early, and the combo wasn't long enough to switch to Bane on the last hit, and he ends up switching the Bane onto me, hits me with a special 1, and that is the fight there. So at this point, I think I do have quite a few team revives. Thank you, Halls of Healing. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and bring Blade back up just by himself, because there's really no need for the other two, because I have this Morto right now, which I'm going to take Blade back in and finish him off rather easily. And then there's a Dormammu mini-boss, which is an interesting fight. So we're back in, and yeah, I mean, there really isn't much to say, I have the Bane on me. As you saw, I really wasn't in much of a rush to get it off. And now I'm just I was trying to let the Bane do a little bit more work for me. And when I found my opening, that's when I went in and finished him off with the medium attack from Mr. Blade. So somebody has already went ahead of me and attempted the Dormammu. Got him down just a tad, but I don't want to take any chances, so I do heal up a bit because, although Blade does have his danger sense and he can basically shut down mystics and villains and dimensional beings, there's still that slight chance that their abilities can proc. So I'm unaware as to what level of mystic dispersion this player has, and at first I try to play the parries and try to keep a little bit of distance, but it's not working. As you see, I'm proccing dexterities, which is activating mystic dispersion. When I started that little rally there, he was a little under 2 bars, but through the dexterities got up to 2 bars. Launched it and did a little bit of damage. I think the unblockable scared me a bit, so I ended up trying to evade it, which I've done in the past. It just didn't totally work there. But I get my feet back under me and get up to my special 2. And once I get to my special 2 against a 4-star champion, especially a Dormammu with Blade, it's usually a wrap, and it is here. So now we wait to see if we get a little boss action, because I know my teammates are itching to get in, and it turns out that we do. So I go ahead and boost up, I potion up, and go ahead and charge in headlong against this MODOK. Now, I haven't seen MODOK too many times as bosses in the tiers that we play in, which is, we're not tier 1 or 2, so I haven't seen too many MODOKs, but he's still one of the champions I'm getting used to fighting. I know that he has that auto block, which is a pain to deal with. Like right there, I went in for attack, and mid combo, he auto blocks and instantly counterattacks. I don't know if that's a bug or anything, but I end up bringing back the whole team, because by this point in time, a few of us have already went in and tried to take out the MODOK, and it just hasn't quite worked yet. But I said, you know what, this is going to be the last time. He's a little over 25% health, maybe more. But this is the end. Oh, he's around 47%, which is still above 25%. You know, I like to round up sometimes. But I'm taking the fight much slower. Right there, I did do a 5-hit combo, which is against my better judgment. Apparently, for whatever reason, well, I know what the reason is. Danger Sense is on, and I have Ghost Rider on my team, so I do have the villain synergy, which may become a thing of the past. Who knows? Anyway, and I'm trying to take the fight a bit more slowly, waiting for my opportunities to attack, taking the opportunity to heal up when I can. And it's kind of working out. You know, there's that auto block again. I want to get up, my specials. I want to get up my power high enough so that I can heal up and still have enough to launch a special one, and still have enough health to survive the fight. So at this point in time, I just want to get to my special one and basically bleed him out as much as possible, because yeah, I mean, the auto block, the attacks really aren't working all that well. Or at least, that's not the strategy I want to use. So after evading a couple special ones, go in the 3 or 4 hit combo, block the initial portion of his attack. It looked like he was loading up a heavy, but I interrupted that and ended the fight there. Not too bad, but it did take too long. Too many champions had to die. We used too many resources. I did. And it turns out we lost this war by a few thousand points. Not the biggest deal in the world, but it is what it is. So good job to Civil War. Great job. I mean, good war. And yeah, so that'll do it for this one. So until the next time, y'all stay blessed. Go Groots. I'm out.